Well, good morning, you guys.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
We're doing the office edition today.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Jinx.
Yeah, jinx.
It is raining outside, you guys.
Yeah, like really, really, really dark. The lighting would be pretty awful. And it's very wet. So, you know what? We're just like, hey, let's hang out in the office today. Catch everybody up on what's going on and what to expect and hang out.
Hang out with you guys a little bit.
Yeah, hang out.
Today is a extremely special day.
It is. Today's a very special day.
It is May 2nd, and it is our anniversary, you guys.
Yay! It's our anniversary. We have been married now for 14 years.
14 years. I still cannot believe it. It seems like it's gone by pretty quick, but at the same time, not. You know what I mean?
It feels like forever, but at the same time, like yesterday.
Yes.
It's very... Looking back on time, especially like a pretty big amount of time, I don't know. It's strange. I guess maybe that's just getting older. I don't know.
It is. It is a lot of feelings, you know.
Yeah.
Every which way. It's a beautiful day, though.
Yeah.
Even though it's raining, we're gonna enjoy it.
Yep.
And we're gonna enjoy each other and have a wonderful, wonderful anniversary.
Yeah, we're actually taking the day off. Well, we're taking the morning or the evening off, the afternoon off. I've got some office stuff I'm going to work on here this morning, but around lunchtime, I'm going to call it quits. And then Gary and I are going to spend the rest of the afternoon together and the evening together. We've got some pretty good plans.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna spend some good time together, play some games, and have a little bit of a romantic dinner, and
Hunkering down here at home, though, we're not going anywhere.
No,
the storm is just too much.
Yeah, it's been storming nonstop, and our road has been washed over a couple of times now. So
it's been pretty beaten down.
We're gonna try to hunker down and stay on the property and not go anywhere because one, it's our anniversary. I want to be able to spend time with her and be able to really have a good time with you. And not only that, I don't want to leave and then be stuck on the other side of the road with the vehicle. I mean, we'll make it home.
Yeah, we'll get across, but...
with the vehicle is another question of, is that coming with us or are we, bringing these Chevy legs,
I don't know, man. I don't know. But we got the kids and stuff here too. We're still house sitting. We're still babysitting and whatnot. And with Wyatt, he did get off to school this morning. And just as we were dropping him off, the rain was starting.
Yeah.
And it's going to be raining all day. And we definitely don't want to go anywhere and then miss and then or get stuck on the other side or I don't know. We need to be home.
We need to be home. There's the weather has been frightful the last few days and whatnot. And today we are expecting something big today. So I do want to sort of go up there in between all the rain, and I'm hoping that we get it. But at the same time,
I don't know.
It might be held off until tomorrow because of the weather. So
yeah, that big siding order that we placed with the soffits and the siding and all the things and stuff, we're expecting it today, friends. Today. So it should be. I mean, I don't know though because the roads are pretty nasty and it is raining a lot. So I don't know if they're gonna be like, "Hey guys, the weather's bad. We'll see you tomorrow." That's a possibility. But it is on our calendar for delivery for today. So I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know, but it's exciting. We're getting siding.
Yes. It's crazy, man. I can't believe that we're getting our siding. Like that's a huge win. That's a huge thing right there.
We're so close to the exterior of our home being completely buttoned and closed up, man. And I can't wait. I can't wait to where we're just working on the inside. It's been years in the making. And I know we're getting closer. And obviously I have to wait. But the anticipation, friends.
The anticipation is real, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really awesome thing. I can't wait for it to be, all said and done. And I can't wait for it to be, up there and look like a cabin.
Yeah, it's going to look like a cabin. It's going to be really beautiful. A lot of folks were asking us, what color, because you guys know we want the wood look on the outside, right? And what color are we going to go with? So I can't tell you exactly which one just yet because we got a couple of little quart or pint size or the small little.
We got the smallest staining
jars.
jar that you can get to test out and see, because we know that we're going to need probably about 5 gallons.
At least. So, and then we're going to need a whole bunch of sealers. So we just bought 2 small jars of colors that I think we're going to want to go with. Both are kind of like a medium brown color. I'm not trying to go with the golden color so much, and I don't want it so dark. I want it to be like a medium brown.
No.
If that makes any sense at all. So we're going to use the 2 jars that we got when we get this order in. We're going to like shave a little piece off, and that's going to be our tester board. We did order plenty of extra.
Yeah.
And we're going to stain, one side with this, one side with that. We're going to let it dry. Then we're going to put the sealer on top of that. So that way we can see what it's going to look like as it's finished and we're hanging it up on the wall. And then I guess from there, then we'll be able to decide. But as of today, I can't let you know exactly like the shade color that we're going with because we don't know yet.
I have no idea.
But we got an idea.
Yeah.
It's a medium brown. That's about all I can say.
Close to, right?
Yeah. And it's gonna be really nice though. If I have my way, like with what I'm imagining, using my imagination, by the time it's all said and done, it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. And we won't be the little greenhouse on the hill anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's actually gonna look like, a cabin.
Yeah, I think people will stop arguing with me in the comments section about calling our home a cabin homestead. I think people will stop arguing with me once we get the siding on. Because they're like, that's not a cabin. I'm like, yes, it is. I mean, it might not look like it right now, but it is. A cabin is a home or a shelter situated in a remote area in the woods.
Yep.
That's what we are. Or building.
It doesn't even have to have logs on it or anything else.
It could be shingles and still be called a cabin.
It could be, yeah. It could literally be the exact same thing as a house.
Yeah.
And if it's out in the middle of the woods, it could be considered a cabin because it's...
Per definition.
And I mean, when you think about people saying like, oh, I'm going to the hunting cabin, like a lot of the times it doesn't have logs on it or anything else.
Sometimes
like
it
that.
does.
Sometimes it does.
Unless you say log cabin. When you say log cabin, then you kind of get an idea. Oh, okay, like Abe Lincoln or something.
But even still, it's a, it's one of those things.
Semantics.
Whatever,
It's
going to look like a log cabin.
I'm just excited, guys, to get the exterior wrapped up. I mean, it's been a really long journey for us. And I think it's going to totally change the whole feel, y'all.
It will.
It is.
It will definitely change the whole feel. It's going to look a lot better on the outer side.
Well, right now it just looks unfinished, which it is. It
is.
Unfinished.
I mean,
it looks like what it is.
It is what it is, you guys. And it's going to be beautiful. I cannot wait. To get this wrapped up on the outside because it's been something a long time coming.
Yeah.
As soon as the exterior is said and done, it's going to go by so much quicker.
I think it will.
All the things that are going to be needing to be done is just going to be like, okay, boom, 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 boom. It's going to start, the dominoes are going to start falling.
The domino
You know
effect.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. It's been a long, hard journey to get to us to where we are.
Yeah. And even when our cabin is finished, we're still not done. We still have all this property. There's still so much more that we want to do, and there's still so much more to do.
We got the garage to build. We got to finish up this basement. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't want to finish this basement until the house upstairs was done and everything, because we still got access the floor joists.
Yeah, like we only have like this paper stuff up for the ceiling. It's not like, finished for the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't decided what we're going to do for the floor, so we still got concrete floors in here. I mean, we just made it livable inside the basement. We just wanted to, I guess, save our money and our resources and our time and get it to where it's good enough and we're out of the camper, right? And we're inside something bigger and better for our family. And it's been fabulous. Like, honestly, night and day different from living in the camper.
No.
However, like Gary said, when we are upstairs inside the cabin, we do want to revisit down here and get down here more to like the finished idea of what we want. Because right now it was just like, hey, good enough to move in.
Correct.
So
that's going to be really cool because, everything's going to start tying in.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that, everything will be situated and done. And come full circle.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we've been stacking dominoes nonstop, and they're starting to finally tink, 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 tink.
So somebody had a question. I want to say it was on our video yesterday on Real Talk. They were asking, or maybe it might have been, I can't remember, friends, but it might have been on our video on Simple Life Reclaimed where we were buying the siding. But somebody had asked if we are going to take the siding and bring it all the way down to basically like that area where we painted kind of like that tan color over the exterior insulation board that we had put up on the outside of the basement. Are we going to be siding that as well? And I will say, yes, we're siding it, but no, we're not siding it with the same round log siding that we're doing.
Correct.
We are going to be siding it with like a brick, like
faux brick type style.
Yeah, like it's not brick, it's like a stone. It's like a stone siding. So it's going to look like a bunch of like stones.
No.
And we do plan to do that, but that is going to be one of like the final things that we do. I don't imagine us doing any of that this year, to be honest with you, because we really want to spend our finances and our energy in finalizing upstairs so we can get upstairs. However, that will be something that maybe when we're working on the basement after we're upstairs, we kind of go back out again and kind of redo.
Mm-hmm.
But we do plan to cover all of that up with like this like stone siding stuff. It's very popular in buildings.
Yep.
A lot of commercial buildings actually use it.
Yep. Same thing on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be pretty cool. We're gonna be having a lot of transitional things going on and a lot of finishing details and a lot of everything.
And we're still gonna have to go out to the back patio, like the back deck. And we're going to have to finish off the decking and everything. And that's going to be, again, after we already move upstairs and live upstairs.
Correct.
Just because of the finances, the time, the energy, all that stuff. We want to just kind of, those are not like really pressing for us, at least not for what we think for our lifestyle and all that. We're like, it's good. It's fine.
It's all good.
We can go out there and walk and stand on the green zip board for now.
Mm-hmm.
However, when we get upstairs, we might want to just put some like a couple of safety boards up there just so that way the kids and the dogs don't just fall out, although I don't think they would get that close to it, but
you never know. And
right.
We try to keep all the kids off of that thing as much as possible, already. Yeah. And
but
once
when
we're up there, it's going to be even
different.
more, so yes.
So we'll visit that. We'll visit that when we get there. Right now, that's really not like a huge concern of ours at this particular moment.
I want to be able to get the siding done first before we finish up that deck. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't want the deck to go all the way in and then we put the siding on top. I'd rather have the siding go down and then make sure everything's flashed and then having the deck go up to the siding.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense to me.
So it's we're little things here and there, right? It's all coming together. And I know that somebody also was talking about the rain screen.
Oh, yeah.
On the house and everything else like that. And I've been looking at so many different things in that process before we bought the siding. They do have like dimple matted rain screen. They've got the mesh screen. They've got furring strips. There's so many different ways that you can go about it. And I looked at it for the roof. I don't know if we really went over it too much. I know I went over it a couple of times, but I didn't really deep dive too much into it. And I was looking at the cost aspect wise and the fact that we spent, so much on the ice and water shield already, and then the roof and everything else. And it's not exactly required 100% for the roof that we did. So I just opted to say, hey, with that. But on the side, I was looking at the dimple matted and that's expensive. It's like, holy moly. All right. So as much as I would love that, we have to keep cost analogy of what it is that we're doing, right? I wanted to spend majority of our money on the top of our roof because that's the biggest protector of our whole house and everything, right? I wanted to spend a little bit more money on the structural aspect, because last thing I want is for our house to come crumbling down or anything else like that. So, I mean, like, we have spent more than average on the bigger parts of our house.
Yeah, right? Like going with the 12-inch block instead of just 8-inch block, and all the rebar and filling it all in, and all of these steps. We've had to weigh our options on what we think is the most beneficial, because again, Gary and I are average folks, y'all. We are not some, like, okay, I know that there is a lot of YouTubers out in the world. And there's so many different walks of life. There's people doing it with a much smaller budget than us. There's people doing it with a much larger budget than us. At the end of the day, Gary and I can only work with what we can work with, what works for us to keep us debt-free and able to pay for everything as we go. And we have to save for certain steps, because that's what we decide is the product that we want to use. For instance, like our roof, you know? I don't know what phase of life or where you guys are coming from, but for us, it took us several months to be able to save up that much money to pay for it in cash in just one drop.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody else can do it like tomorrow by noon, well then, like, I'm happy for you. Like, good for you. Like,
yep.
But for us, you know, I'm very happy with our walk and with what we are doing.
Correct.
And so anyway, we have to decide what would be the best materials that would fit our lifestyle, our budget, our needs, our desires, and the timeline that we're trying to keep.
And I also got to think in mind and keep in mind the kind of material that we're using.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are going with a wood siding. So I would love for that thing to last, you know, forever. It's not going to, unfortunately. You know, I would like to keep the maintenance cost-wise down, but it is a little bit more tedious in the maintenance aspect. So you have a lot of things that you're trying to weigh out, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I spend, you know, this kind of money towards the siding, and if I spend so much money towards everything else, and like, hopefully it's not the case, but in 25, 35 years, if I have to replace the siding, I'd have to remove a lot of the other material that I put on underneath it for the rain screen and everything. So it's like, should I spend that kind of money towards it to where it's like, I hope I don't have to remove it, but I might have to remove it. You know what I mean? So with the stickers and everything else like that, the cost wise is definitely a lot of the lesser end of it, you know, but it is still a little bit more versus just tacking it straight to the zipper.
Right.
You know, it should, longevity-wise, make it live a little bit longer, because we are going to have that air gap behind it, you know, so
that's what we're going to end up doing, is we're not doing the dimple matting or anything. No. We're going to end up doing, like, furring strips, basically, or correct. Stickering, or whatever it's called. Essentially, it's a thin, very, very thin piece of wood.
5/8 inch thick is the thickness that we're going with.
Yeah, so very thin, like, that way, and then it's pretty thin this way. And then you just put them vertically up on the walls, and then the siding pieces go on top of that. So like Gary said, it creates an air gap between it. So that way mold and water and just all the things, right? It keeps the board staying alive or nice in good condition for a lot longer.
Yep.
Now with the stain and with the sealer, those two things alone should also help the boards and the longevity of it. Somebody was saying that we're going to have to reseal it every year. I mean,
ideally, you should be resealing every year.
If that's the case, then that's the case. I mean, it's a spray thing, so it's not...
After about 5 years, it's ideal to sand, restain, and seal.
Yeah.
You know, but if you seal every year, like what they say, you might be able to get 10, 15 years out of the stain and the seal, as long as you seal every year.
Yeah.
But we are in a climate that is extremely humid. So you got to worry about mold. You got to worry about moss. You got to worry about, you know, all sorts of different fungi or whatever, just growing because it's moist, you know, and it's like, what in the world? We
don't have to worry about termites.
No.
We don't got to worry about termites.
Not at all.
So, I mean, there's that.
So there's, you know, the termites, we're not going to have to worry about that 100%. And that's we're having a log cabin, I really did not want any issue with that.
Yeah. Bugs coming in and munching away. Remember all those grubs?
Oh yeah, I would be losing my mind if we walk outside and we're hearing that in the cabin. I'll be like, what in the world?
And you just hear
calling the exterminator.
You literally hear those grubs munching on the logs when they're down. And that was another thing when we were like figuring out, are we going to do a log cabin or not? Like, let's use all of our logs. And then I start scraping all of our logs, and I just see there are like
everywhere,
so many of them.
Just like,
so many of them. And we're like, well, we could fix it. You just throw some sawdust and some wood glue in there. That fixes the way that it looks. But what about the strength?
Yep.
I don't know. So there were many reasons why we decided to do what we're doing and how we were going to go forward. And honestly, I am very happy with all of our decisions so far.
Yep.
If anything goes wrong, well, it's our decisions, and we will make our bed and we'll lay in it.
100%.
But so far, I'm very pleased with all the decisions that we've made. I'm really pleased with how everything's turning out. And we've been able to stay within budget. That's a huge thing for us, guys. Like, that's one of the biggest reasons why we even moved out here to do all of this in the first place.
Correct. Was
we wanted to be able to have a beautiful home and a homestead with all these animals and gardening and doing all this stuff and being more self-sufficient, and not have a giant mortgage payment while we're doing it. So that's why we sold our house in Arizona. Yep. And that's why we're doing everything the way that we're doing it now. Are we as fast as everybody else that has, piles and piles of money and hires everyone to do it? No, we're not.
Oh.
We're not. But it's not a competition. This is just us sharing our life. And I guess the main reason why I might sound a little defensive is because on our last couple of videos, like as a content creator, it's probably one of the most annoying things to hear. Like, oh, you should go look at this other content creator. Oh, they did this. Oh, they did that. Because me and Gary have nothing but like love, and like we're so thankful and happy that other people are on this journey, and we're so proud of everybody else. Like they're doing it, man. They're doing it. Good for them. But we're doing it too in our own way. And for people to tell us that we need to be like someone else, no, we don't need to be like anyone else. We need to be like us.
Or I should research something else that somebody else did. Like, look at what they did. And I'm like, you're talking to me.
Yeah, the research guy.
The research guy that has literally researched every single type of material you could even think of. Things that you don't even know of. I'm just saying.
Well, this was so before we started ever turning on the camera and pressing record, this was what we dreamed about doing. Correct. And so there's like years and years of research and dreaming and everything before we even started doing, before we started recording, before we did anything. This guy was researching.
Correct.
Now, are we perfect? Do we know everything? Absolutely not. What a foolish thing to even say or assume that like we know everything. That would be absolutely foolish.
However, in a lot of the building world aspects or building science or anything else like that, I have researched so much things. You guys would probably have a brain aneurysm in the sense of how much stuff I have to try to keep track of and keep on top of and try to think of on all these other things. And okay, now let's go down the pros and cons of every single piece.
Yeah.
Every single everything, because let's face it, the biggest thing is I never wanted what happened with that metal roof. We were in the midst of doing something and it really detrimentally put us on pause and hold because we couldn't finish or move forward. It's the last thing I want to do is building something, then all of a sudden have it fall down and now there goes all that work, here goes everything else. Is that something that I really want it to be like, or I put all this work into it for it to mold away and rot away and fall off, it's like, there's a lot to it. So
there is
a lot.
There is. But I feel like we have a really good handle on things. I feel like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But sitting in this position, this seat right here, I feel very confident in what we've done. I feel very confident in your abilities, in your research. I feel very pleased that here we are 14 years into our marriage, 15 years together, 14 years married, and 19 years knowing each other. It's pretty crazy. Yep. And I feel very happy and fulfilled in my life to be at this place with you by my side.
I'm super happy about that. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy walk, ride like no tomorrow, and
yeah,
we've had a
ton of ups and downs.
I want to change it for the world.
Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you, baby.
Today is our anniversary, and we want to enjoy it today. So
yeah. So I mean, it's just been there's a lot of things. So there's a lot of things for us to consider when we're building our house, and we do keep all these things in consideration. Obviously, we love hearing your guys' comments and your suggestions, and we love hearing from people that have been in the trade and stuff like that. Absolutely. However, we don't like being told what we have to be doing, and we like being told that we have to do what someone else is doing, because this is our journey. This is what we want to do.
Or that we should do what somebody else does.
Yeah. They're not us. They don't have our life, our lifestyle, our children, our family, our finances. They're not us with our personal tastes.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
And I'm confident in our decisions and our path.
I ain't worried about what somebody else did.
Yeah.
I'm a research what I need to research, and I'm going to pick the thing that I need to pick, and we're going to bring you guys along with it regardless.
Yeah. But I hope that we're not being discouraging to you guys in any way, making you feel like, oh, I'm never going to say anything then, because that's not what we want.
No.
We definitely, again, we do appreciate your comments and your suggestions and different things like that. Absolutely. But
it's one of those things to where it's like we're telling you that we're buying siding. We order the siding, and you tell us you should have gotten this siding.
It's like that doesn't help. That's not what we wanted.
We obviously aren't doing that. We obviously
just
bought
paid for all of this. This is what we want.
Like, I don't know. It's one of those things.
Anyways,
you shouldn't live your life telling others how to live their life or be and everything else like that. So
yeah. Anyways, enough of that. Hopefully this didn't turn too sideways, friends. Gary and I have a wonderful day planned together. We are going to enjoy some good food, some games, some good quality time.
Yes.
It's going to be a very, very wonderful day. And for everybody out there, I do have a special video coming out on Simple Life Reclaimed today, friends. Today.
Yep.
It's going to be another all talk, no work. Hope you like it. It's going to be a really great one, though, because we're running around. It's, again, all things that are progressing us forward into our cabin homestead build, all things that need to get done. And I hope that you guys really enjoy the video. I'm going to try my best to have it out by 2 o'clock today, kind of like our normal time. Mm-hmm. And stay tuned, because I might have some more stuff coming out through the weekend as well. So
until the next one.
Yeah, we love y'all, and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.